Jay-Z is setting Diddy up.
You think I wasn't gonna get at you from the inside?
He has reached out to a witness, an alleged participant in multiple freak-offs.
Said that he alleges that Diddy strapped a to his face and made him parade around a party.
Then why Oprah staying quiet? Why Ellen moving to another country? Don't be shocked if nobody show up to testify.
Jay-Z might be the one feeling the heat next, and no one saw it coming. Thought you knew about Jay-Z and Diddy's friendship? It was all a lie. Explosive courtroom testimony has shaken the music world. Shocking new claims reveal this fallout isn't just about Diddy anymore. Now, questions are rising fast. What exactly was said in court? And why is it spreading fear through celebrity circles? Stay tuned as we break down the bombshells that have even the biggest stars panicking. And, seriously,
Then why Oprah staying quiet? Why Ellen moving to another country? Don't be shocked if nobody show up to testify. Are you surprised to hear from me?
No. What's going on?
You think I wasn't gonna get at you from the inside? I think you know me a little better than that.
We can't be talking right now, Puff.
Nah. With all due respect, my brother, how is your wife doing? I heard she's spending a lot of time on the farm, and she loves talking to a pig. I told you when I went on this little road trip, I wasn't going to invite you, but I could change my mind. You understand?
Listen, everything all good. We just can't talk right now.
Now, how about I just talk and you listen? You told me the storm would just come and go if I lay down and stay quiet, but the weather seemed to be getting worse. You know, I could be catching a cold, so I need to make sure you send me some vitamin E and my special K cereal.
Relax. Some things fell through, but everything will be back up soon. Just keep calling your family. You'll be with them soon.
Oh, I'm doing the same thing for Thanksgiving. Make sure you send it straight to the Shade Room and TMZ. Make me look like a good father, and all I need is one juror to be on my side, and this case is over. Make sure them Amazon deliveries get back on schedule, then there won't be no need for us to talk no more.
Just chill out, Puff. I told you I'ma get it.
with a shockwave as Diddy's courtroom revelations exploded across headlines, even the untouchable seemed shaken. What many expected to be a quiet legal case turned into a firestorm tearing through the world of celebrities. The trial, already surrounded by intense anticipation, became the focus of public attention when unexpected testimony exposed hidden ties and accusations no one predicted. According to inner-city press, the court's revelations destroyed any chance of privacy, pulling long-buried names into the spotlight. Inside, the pressure was intense. The room felt heavy, almost hard to breathe. Witnesses shifted in their seats, uneasy under the sharp eyes of the attorneys. Diddy, sitting at the defense table, looked nothing like his usual calm self. Though his face gave little away, his stiff posture showed the pressure he was under. Each shocking word cracked the surface of control. Industry insiders and media members traded nervous looks, their worry growing with every twist. Soft whispers moved through the crowd as the reality sank in. This wasn't just about Diddy. The most chilling part? Quiet suggestions of a much deeper network, one possibly linking other big names in music. This wasn't about simple mistakes or one man's troubles. The testimonies pointed to something far bigger. One witness casually dropped a high-profile name, and the courtroom froze. Some claims were vague, but others were alarmingly clear, hinting at a web of connections far beyond Diddy's inner circle. Inner-city press reported one moment that stood out, a name spoken so casually, yet it sent a chill through the room. In that instant, everything shifted. This wasn't just about what had happened weeks or months ago. It became about what might come next. Tension filled the air as people sat in stunned silence, unsure of what else could be revealed. Among the names whispered afterward, Jay-Z stood out. Though nothing solid tied him directly to the case, parts of the testimony raised questions, past interactions that hinted at deeper knowledge or involvement. The public's attention sharpened as relationships once seen as solid began to crack. Diddy's trial made one thing brutally clear. No one in these powerful circles was fully safe. If one connection fell apart, there was no telling how far the damage could spread. For now, Jay-Z's name hovered, faintly linked, but with enough weight to stir real concern. And this was only the start. With witness lists growing, media coverage exploding, and public anger rising, it felt like the real storm hadn't even hit yet. Hung over Hollywood and the music industry like an ominous storm cloud, the tension kept growing. So many questions remain unanswered, but one refuses to fade. What about these explosive revelations has Jay-Z so concerned? Is it simply guilt by association, or is there something much deeper, something?
You know, I've been thinking about watching a movie lately. It's called Eyes Wide Shut. Have you seen it? It's got a real famous celebrity in there, don't it?
Yeah, Tom Cruise. What's your point?
Is that who it is? Man, I thought it was a different celebrity. I guess it might have been a different movie. You know, I got a lot of movies on my mind sometimes, and I get the actors confused. Some of these actors are so good, they act like they don't even know they're being recorded. Your wife did a few movies, didn't she? Wife did a few movies, didn't she?
Okay. That was a long time ago, Puff. What the fuck are you trying to say?
Oh, nothing. Just talking to an old friend. You know, I haven't talked to friends in a long time. It seemed like they forgot about me. Let's make sure they keep it that way. Let's make sure they keep it that way.
Man, what's the point of this? I told you everything straight.
Good. And make sure you keep the worm food away from my house while I'm gone. It gets messy. Too many insects start digging around. Remember when I cleaned up the worm food around your house? I kept a sample in case you needed. I kept a sample in case you needed.
Oh, really? Listen, don't push your limits, Puff. I ain't the one to play with. You in there, and I'm out here.
Oh, and don't have another Kit Kat. It's bad for you. She made me gain weight. And get 44 on board again. Make him pull some strings again, or else.
First of all, Puff, you need to watch your mouth. You know who you talking to? Second of all, this the that got you in the first place. You always think that you're bigger than what you really are. You need to stop trying to fight the hand that feeds you, and you wouldn't be in this position. And you don't got what you think you got. You don't got what you think you got.
Okay, you getting all fired up. I like that, Daddy. It's all love. But if I don't got what I think I got, then why Oprah staying quiet? Why Ellen moving to another country? Why Leo been in Fiji for months? When I get this bail though, this case going away. I don't need no phones. I don't need no internet. I'll send a letter on a fucking bird. You already ruined my fucking name. And you know what that means? You going up against somebody who got nothing to lose and everything to gain.
Possibly tie back to Jay-Z, and not in the way anyone expected. At first glance, these two music moguls might seem linked only by past collaborations or shared influence in the industry. But as the trial unfolded, it became clear their connection could go far beyond casual business. Over the years, Jay-Z and Diddy have moved in the same elite circles, sharing relationships with major players in music, nightlife, and the corporate world. Their parallel rise once looked like a story of mutual respect and ambition. Now, that image is under fire. A shadow has fallen over their bond, with courtroom remarks suggesting deeper, more questionable links among powerful names. According to inner-city press, the hints dropped in court were too sharp to ignore. Specific testimony pointed to partnerships and events where Diddy wasn't the only one pulling strings. While Jay-Z hasn't been directly accused of anything, legal experts say the overlapping circles between the two are now being looked at much more closely. One detail in particular got people talking. Witness accounts of exclusive industry parties, filled with hand-picked guests, and a strange level of secrecy that, in hindsight, feels anything but innocent. Jay-Z's presence at some of these gatherings is well known. That alone doesn't prove anything, but hearing those events brought up in court has sparked a wave of public curiosity. Behind the scenes, sources say Jay-Z's team is watching the trial closely. Out in public, he stayed completely quiet. But insiders claim the tension around him is growing. The real concern isn't whether Jay-Z will be pulled in directly. It's how these connections now under a microscope might affect how he's seen. Links that once seemed harmless now carry serious weight. And for someone with a reach as massive as Jay-Z's, the danger isn't just legal trouble. It's much more. Reputational damage that can lead to doors quietly closing within powerful networks. That's the real threat. What makes this even more troubling is the wider meaning behind the claims revealed in court. Legal experts explain that while the trial centers on specific charges, the testimony can unintentionally expose a deeper culture that links multiple high-profile individuals. When someone like Jay-Z has a long history with a figure at the heart of such a case, those ties naturally draw attention. In the world of fame, even loose connections can explode into full-blown controversy. The media doesn't wait for solid proof. It runs with suggestion, and that pressure forces celebrities to answer for things not yet fully formed. Still, one detail from the courtroom caused an even stronger wave of whispers about Jay-Z's possible role. A witness brought up a certain business deal, a transaction made when both men were at the top of their game. Jay-Z's past could hold unexpected surprises for those looking too closely. No clear wrongdoing was named, but the timing and details were strange enough to make people ask questions. Was it just a coincidence, or part of a bigger story that's finally starting to show itself? That one mention, unclear but clearly intentional, has left many wondering what else might be hiding under the surface. As more testimony comes out, one question won't go away. Are these links just bad luck, or pieces of something much bigger waiting to be exposed? There's no solid answer yet, but the
Jay-Z is setting Diddy up. He ain't doing shit different. The acceptable monster at this time, like R. Kelly was the last time I sat on this couch. I want you to think about 106th and Park with Mary J. Blige. Free, who is a victim of Sean Carter. Yeah. Mary J. Blige, who is a victim of Sean Combs, are sitting there talking about the death of Aaliyah. I'm saying, Sean Carter, you're a piece of shit. Taking Pimp C wasn't bad enough. You just want to go down there and you want to just remove all of the balls from every real gangster in here. And she was trained at the esteemed Berklee College of Music. Handpicked by my very good friend, Terry Lynn Carrington, Dr. Terry Lynn Carrington, who put together Beyonce's entire female band, which was Matthew Knowles' idea because he couldn't get Beyonce to stop people. Guess you didn't know your daughter well enough because she just started all the girls.
It's like, I heard some shit about he has clothes on or something. I don't know. Like, I don't really know if all this is true, but I just heard parts like, I'm like, what happened to my guy?
Right.
And then they come out with the official. It was a mixture of some stuff, the prescription and something else or something that I don't really know. But with me, I never really heard something that would give that closure for me. Mm-hmm. I never really heard anything tangible or true, like what happened to my guy.
Hey, Kev, when you hosted for Diddy, did you catch any baby oil?
You'll see
when I hosted for Diddy? Yeah.
You asking the wrong person the wrong question.
Rihanna, did you attend any of P. Diddy's parties? Were you involved in any of the freak-offs?
Jay-Z's once inspiring rise to the top is now being examined in a whole new light. For years, his climb to success in business and music was seen as one of entertainment's most powerful stories. But after Diddy's trial, moments and choices from Jay-Z's past are being looked at again, this time with tough questions attached. The public's focus has shifted beyond just Diddy. Now, people are asking how powerful names rose and stayed at the top for so long without challenge. Jay-Z's past, once praised, is being viewed through a sharper, more critical lens. One moment drawing fresh attention is his early work with Rockefeller Records. That label helped shape hip-hop, but it also thrived in a world of late-night deals and exclusive circles. During that period, Jay-Z worked closely with people who would later run into serious legal problems. The now infamous stabbing incident involving Jay-Z and music executive Lance Rivera is being seen in a new light. At the time, Jay-Z admitted guilt, accepted a misdemeanor assault charge, and the moment was brushed off as a one-time slip in a tough industry. But today, that event no longer feels like just a personal outburst. It's being viewed as part of a larger, hidden culture within the music world. While Jay-Z's name was never directly linked to wrongdoing back then, critics are now questioning how close he might have been to questionable actions happening around him. These aren't clear-cut accusations, but they do point to a growing desire to understand how powerful figures built their empires in such tight, influential circles. What adds to this spotlight is the idea that aggression, secrecy, and backroom deals were the norm, not the exception. As court testimony continues to reveal just how exclusive and secretive this world was, past events like the 1999 stabbing don't fade. They echo. Some are now wondering if that moment was more than just a personal conflict, but a sign of how unchecked power worked behind the scenes. At the same time, the way media talks about Jay-Z's business image is shifting. Once praised ventures are being looked at again, but this time with doubt. Jay-Z's connection with Diddy on projects like Forbes 5, once seen as a celebration of hip-hop's richest stars, now looks like a careful move within a small, tight group. The access and teamwork in their partnerships are no longer just coincidences, but are being seen as part of a deliberate network, one shaped by questionable deals. Online forums are already buzzing with talk, and insiders say more people are starting to question how much Jay-Z's business circle overlaps with names tied to Diddy's trial. One key moment is Jay-Z's purchase of Tidal, a streaming service that promised to put artists first. But early on, concerns about mismanagement and inflated numbers raised doubts. What was once written off as simple growing pains is now being looked at as a possible example of something deeper. Witnesses in Diddy's trial described financial mistakes linked to businesses tied to Jay-Z, raising questions about deeper problems in his career. Some wonder if these issues stretch across the same circles Jay-Z once moved through. The focus on Jay-Z isn't just about legal trouble. It's about changing how people see his choices in the bigger story of power and influence. What used to earn respect is now being questioned, as his actions are seen as part of a much larger.
That he alleges that Diddy strapped a to his face and made him parade around a party. And he says that in this party, Jay-Z, Beyonce, LeBron, and Gloria Estefan saw him in rare form because of this.
Say that they have you on tape denying that Jay-Z assaulted you. Is that true?
No. They don't. I've never said that.
They also say that you told them, and they have it on tape, that I, Tony Busby, told you to came up with this plan and told you to say that Jay-Z assaulted you so you would get more money.
No.
Combs allegedly planned and controlled the sex performances, which he called freak-offs, and he often electronically recorded them. The freak-offs sometimes lasted days at a time.
Typically, the victim is lured into a situation where he or she is given a drink. Typically, that drink, reported by these victims, is apparently laced with something. Once that drink takes effect, the perpetrators perform all kinds of sexual acts on the victims.
This guy from neighborhoods similar to where I've grown up that made it to these unreachable heights. Puff was the first one that came through and made us feel like, you know, it was us. It was ghetto fabulous. We took our rightful place at the tables in the boardrooms and the fashion shows, and, you know, we arrived.
That was interesting. When I was saying things not knowing exactly what I was saying, I was going, where's Jay at? He's mad quiet. Like while the Puffy thing was going on. But it's obvious now that his team was being made aware that he was in those allegations also.
You can't tell me Jada see a 14-year-old girl come in the studio and sit on R. Kelly's lap. No. You can't tell me, you want to tell me that working on that album that he ain't never seen a 14-year-old girl come in the vicinity?
My belief is that anybody who's worked with him and been in his cipher has seen it go down.
Jay-Z's rise to a global business powerhouse has been nothing less than legendary. His empire covers music, sports management, luxury liquor brands, streaming platforms, and more. With partnerships including billion-dollar companies like LVMH and his Roc Nation agency managing everything from artists to major sports deals, Jay-Z has become both a cultural and financial icon. But Diddy's trial is shaking the industry, and some of Jay-Z's own connections are starting to feel the impact of public and professional fallout. The revelations about Diddy have quietly shaken Jay-Z's network. Corporate leaders who once trusted his flawless reputation to build partnerships are now growing uneasy as speculation spreads. Though no direct accusations link Jay-Z to Diddy's troubles, the trial has pulled him into discussions that brands usually try to avoid. Reports say murmurs are spreading inside Roc Nation as executives weigh the risks to their reputation from this growing storm. Damage control talks are picking up fast behind the scenes, but for a giant empire like Jay-Z's, even whispers of trouble come with a cost. Some partnerships are already feeling the heat. Insiders point to a luxury liquor deal with Jay-Z's Armand de Brignac champagne, also called Ace of Spades. While the deal still stands, investors and distributors are said to be hesitant, worried about any lasting fallout. In entertainment, public image is everything. Even small cracks in reputation can cause deals to stall, rebrand, or quietly fall apart. For someone like Jay-Z, whose identity is deeply tied to his businesses, this is a delicate balance. Legal. Experts say these situations are risky for celebrities whose companies depend on their personal name. When public doubt grows, it's not always lawsuits that hurt most. It's partnerships disappearing without a word. This could be Jay-Z's biggest challenge. While his wealth offers some protection, his empire's strength relies on brand. Relationships built over many years. A small loss of trust can shake even the biggest empires. The fallout feels even larger when you think about how wide Jay-Z's reach is. He's not just a musician or businessman. He runs Roc Nation, owns part of the streaming service Tidal, and stays involved in social and political causes that shape his public image. If even one part of Jay-Z's empire starts to crack, it could set off problems everywhere. The big question is, how does someone as powerful as Jay-Z handle this rising storm? With lawyers, PR experts, and top executives probably working around the clock, his focus has clearly shifted from expanding his business to protecting it. For now, no one knows just how far the damage might go. That uncertainty still hangs over everything. What's really in that Pimp C tape?
What's in this Pimp C tape?
All I can tell you, there was a famous R&B chick, and it was a guy that was getting money at the time. And, you know, Pimp, he used to be in the studio. And every now and then he'd have a camcorder, so he was able to get some footage. And he wanted to do something with the footage, but I don't know why he didn't do nothing with it, but if I could have got a hold of that tape, I'd be a billionaire, man. Whoever it was, they had to kill me, man. I know TMZ would have paid a bank for that one, man. But yeah, it is a tape, and if you read the comments, a lot of people figured out. Okay. A lot of people figured out because, you know, people that was in Houston at the time, they know who was a little.
Comments about P. Diddy, the allegations?
Don't leave. You don't need to speak out against this Diddy thing. What's your take now? John, you made a statement about Diddy. What? Jason, hey, my man, do you have any reaction to the Diddy scandal? Any reaction? No reaction? How's everything going? Everything good. Is Hollywood going to survive this Diddy thing? Like, we're worried. Will you respond? No, she wants to respond. Look at it. I want to ask about the Diddy scandal. Have you ever heard of anything such? No. Go. No? Is the Baldwin family at all concerned about Justin Bieber with this P. Diddy thing?
Jay-Z now faces a tricky situation, one that goes deeper than just headlines. Though no direct legal charges have been made against him, the connections revealed in court have raised many questions about his past, his relationships, and how people see his rise to power. Legal experts say that while he may not face legal action yet, the fallout could keep Jay-Z in a tough, ongoing spotlight. Behind the scenes, his legal team is said to be on high alert. Sources say they've quietly started looking into what it means to be linked to those under investigation. Their focus is on protecting Jay-Z's assets and managing how the public views him. The plan seems to be about getting ready rather than reacting. Jay-Z's team is walking a fine line. Preparing too much could look like admitting guilt, but ignoring the growing pressure might cause damage that's hard to fix. So far, neither Jay-Z nor his team have spoken about the trial. Their silence seems planned, a smart move to avoid mistakes. But that hasn't stopped rumors from spreading. Legal experts and insiders are watching closely, wondering what Jay-Z might face if any court details connect to him. One common idea is that if a wider investigation starts, people with even loose ties could get caught up, not because they're guilty, but because of who they're linked to. It's all about how things look. A legal expert said even small rumors can hurt a person's image, especially when stories take on a life of their own. For someone like Jay-Z, whose huge empire relies on trust and brand strength, this matters a lot. To protect himself, sources say Jay-Z has started tightening up his business. He's adding stricter checks inside to avoid any risks. Jay-Z is quietly working to protect his empire from the fallout of these ongoing revelations. This careful move shows he's trying to shield himself from the growing risks tied to outside figures. There are also talks of him focusing more on charity work, maybe to strengthen his image as a respected leader and put some distance between himself and the controversies spreading through the industry. But even these efforts might not fully protect Jay-Z. The feeling of being untouchable is starting to fade as old ties and loyalties are closely examined. With the trial dragging more names into the spotlight, a troubling question hangs over Jay-Z's team. How much suspicion can build before someone decides to dig deeper? Could the mogul, known for his flawless success, get caught in the fallout of a bigger industry reckoning? For now, no one knows for sure. But this uncertainty might be the first sign of the storm that's still coming. Jay-Z's name linked to the fallout from Diddy's trial shows just how fragile even the strongest reputations are when past actions are closely examined. Whether these connections are by chance or more serious, they raise tough questions about the culture behind these empires. The court hasn't directly accused him yet, but the wider impact sends a clear message. No one is untouchable when the ripple effects spread. This story is far from over, and as more names come up, the stakes only grow higher. Subscribe and stay tuned. You won't want to